Welcome back to Absolutely. My name is Benny, that is Sal, and that is Hassan. And today we're here to clear up another bullshit rumor on the internet. So
You said BS in the first 30 seconds. Are we going to get demonetized?
We definitely are.
Dan can censor it. Problem solved.
Good, okay, all right.
It's right at the beginning, Dan. You can do it. All right, so Zachery Levi has supposedly put out a video in which he states that John Wick 4 is not a family movie and that Shazam 2 is a better movie and that you need to go see it.
Oh, I did not know that was what you were going to say. I thought
No,
you were
I
talking
watched
about
that. I watched that clip already, actually. That's not what he said at all.
We'll play the clip because we need to get some buffing anyway. But I know what the true situation is here, and it's not that. Okay.
Okay.
Let me find his clip real quick.
Not at all. There's a lot of Zachery Levi doing a live thing because he's finally come out anti The Rock, which is great.
Yeah.
Because he's like The Rock is the.
We'll talk about that in a minute, but hold on.
Okay.
Hold that thought. We're gonna go into the anti-Rock thing because a lot of stuff's coming out
I was
about
buying
that
you
also.
time, Betty. That's what I was.
I know, and I got it. So here it is.
Oh, good.
Let's see it.
I love Keanu Reeves. If you want to go see John Wick and go for it. I mean, I'm not going to tell you not to. But John Wick's not a family movie. So if you're looking for a movie for your family or your date or whatever, or you just don't want to get into like hardcore, pop, go see Shazam! Fury of the Gods. We are a far better film, and those of you who have seen the movie know this. I love Keanu Reeves.
Did you see the cut? Did you
that
guys
was a
see the
hard cut.
terrible cut?
So everyone's like, "Oh my God, he's on it. He's having a manic episode. He's doing all these crazy things." It's a 14-minute video in which he was responding to somebody about John Wick and the reviews of Shazam 2. And what him saying is far better movie was followed previously by him stating that it's a far better movie than the reviews are stating.
Right.
It's not related to John Wick at all. It's a 14-minute video that he posted.
Yeah, but if I cut it, it makes it look like he hates Keanu Reeves, even though he opens it by saying he loves Keanu Reeves. This is so sad to me. I'm like, what kind of world are we in where the lead actor in a major franchise picture has to make a vertical video of himself going, "Hey, you guys, please go see my movie."
Dude, even
this
the
isn't
director
an independent
backed out on
movie. This isn't like Napoleon Dynamite.
Yeah.
This is like this is a major multi-million-dollar movie. Like, what the hell is happening?
It's
What kind of
because they
world are we
stopped
in?
promoting it. Even the director was like, "I want nothing to do with this anymore."
That
Like-
sucks too, because that's like that. He's the leader. Sandberg should go down with the ship. I mean, like Sandberg's a good director. He's a fun guy. He has really great insights. He used to have a good YouTube channel. I don't know if he has made any new videos in a while, but like he should stand by the movie because I saw it and it's like it's fun. I got no complaints.
The best part about it is it's profitable.
Right.
It has a budget of 90 to 100 million, even using the rules that I've stated before, which is randomly, arbitrarily made back in the 90s, and there seems to be no connection to them actually yet. But of doubling that budget to include marketing, that would only be 200 million, and it made 367 million.
Yeah.
So it was a low budget movie that made money. It's a profitable. That's it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
The other thing going on that Hassan wanted to bring up is that he has come out against The Rock and basically confirmed all the rumors.
Yeah, he threw him right under the bus. Which, by the way, like good.
Time. About time. I've seen.
Yeah.
You know what's funny? It's that like I don't think public perception of The Rock during the social media age has ever been like lovely. Like no one's ever been like The Rock is the guy and we love him. I think maybe outside of social media a little bit, but
I love The Rock.
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
Then he would watch
Benny.
Rampage 2.
Yeah, you'd watch Rampage and
1,
Skyscraper
Rampage
in the
1
same.
was amazing. The Rock was incredible. So was the monkey. But anyway.
Yeah. So was the tan suit he wore at all three of those films that year. God damn it, Benny. So
you just don't know good acting. You just don't know what good acting is. You don't know what good movies are.
You know what good acting was? It's The Rock in Fast and the Furious 5, where he plays Hobbs, like he plays a real character, and then he he gets rid of the Louisiana accent, his origin, and he becomes Samoan, and they totally change his entire narrative, so he's more The Rock.
I liked The Rock when he acted more. Now he's just The Rock in things.
Yeah,
it's my
no,
problem
I like
recently with Ryan Reynolds. I love Ryan Reynolds as an actor. Recently, he's just been Deadpool at everything.
Well, now he's a billionaire.
I loved him in The
too.
Tooth Fairy. He was amazing.
So the Tooth Fairy.
No,
Remember the
what got me was the straight face from Sal and Hassan trying to move on.
I love him, the Tooth Fairy. I had another thought on you brought up Ryan Reynolds, and he made $1 billion last week, and I can't get rid of that. He's in all those commercials for his TV line or his
Mobile
phone,
or whatever. Yeah.
and then T-Mobile bought it for $1 billion.
Oh my God!
He owned it. He literally was the owner of that company. So now Ryan Reynolds is a billionaire, which is crazy.
Well, I mean, I'm pretty sure he was before, but
He's like $100 millionaire.
Multi-millionaire.
Yeah, multi-millionaire, but not a billionaire. But so Dwayne The Rock Johnson has just been getting dragged. A lot of people they're saying this is a very social media Gen Z term. They have the ick. He gives them the ick now because his pride, his ego. Like people pull up clips from his Oscar interview where he's like, they're like, what superhero do you want to play next? He goes, I don't know about a superhero because the last one we did, obviously critics didn't like it, but the people showed up, people liked it. But that's Hollywood, so it's a lot of like not taking accountability for making kind of a bad movie or what people say is a bad movie.
I was like. In the defense of Black Adam, I don't think it was a good superhero movie. I don't think it was a bad one. It had way too much corporate or The Rock's hands in it to make Black Adam into just this middling superhero movie.
Really quick, I'll just weigh in on the Black Adam movie in this one sentence kind of statement where like I don't watch Rock movies. Like I've seen him in like The Scorpion King and The Rundown. I saw him in movies before when he was trying to get out of wrestling and into Hollywood.
Yeah.
When he acted.
Rundown's great, yeah.
I am not familiar, and I've never seen a single Fast and the Furious movie, and I'll hopefully go to my grave with that distinction because, like, I don't like them, and I don't find them entertaining, and and from what I've heard described, the whole like dick measuring aspect of the movies, where it's like this person and this person. Oh, if you get a kick, I get a punch, but twice because kicks are more powerful than punches.
Yeah.
Like just this nonsense. I'm like, I don't see movies like that. Yeah. And and Black Adam felt like a movie I'd never seen before in that where it felt like it was made by an algorithm.
Yeah. Every time Black Adam got thrown down, he needed to get like 2 extra punches in or something to count.
Yes. Or like he never really got hurt. And when he got hurt, he had to do like double damage. And it was just like, I was hyper aware of it and it was very displayed on screen. And I was like, it was, and it wasn't, if I didn't know any of that stuff, if I didn't care, I might have been like, that was entertaining and whatever. But like, it felt really gross. Like it felt like it was made by like an accountant.
Yeah. And when it comes to that kind of film, it's also like it was never going to succeed. It's a character that just doesn't matter in the grand pantheon of the DC universe. Not to say it's not incredible and there have been some great stories, but not now. Not as an individual character carrying a solo franchise when that character is at its best when it's an antagonist against another character. Obviously with the rich history that you could get into later in like Justice League movies and team movies, that'd be awesome. But this was not the way to premiere said character, and they knew this going in, and The Rock doesn't accept anything like that. This meme page disbussing film, which looks exactly like discussion film, put out this tweet. Vin Diesel has spoken out in support of Zachery Levi. The enemy of my enemy is my family. I will have Zachary's back in his crusade against Dwayne. Obviously fake.
But it's funny because
24,000
Zachery coming out and stating all this lines up with all the behind-the-scenes rumors that we were all like, they could be true, they could not. Until because it's basically that he was trying to come in and kind of take over. He saw a way to handle through all this. I mean, it was so weird. It was such a weird thing. But the fact that Zachery Levi came out kind of goes into what we were saying about social media and the day it is. Because I was just thinking about this. We never saw any of the MCU actors getting on. The worst we ever saw was Brie Larson making a YouTube channel where she hung out with YouTubers. Like, MCU stars don't do social media.
I don't remember that.
Go look at Brie Larson on YouTube.
Oh,
she tried to make a
pretty
YouTube channel, and it was just her chatting with other YouTubers, and YouTube promoted the hell out of it.
Yeah, that part was lame, but her part of it was cool. And we could say that it's because all of the MCU actors were basically relative no-names or small actors leading into the MCU. Social media came to prominence around when, like, God, probably the second Avengers movie was coming out before social media was a part of everybody's daily lives, right? And at that point, each of them are multi-million-dollar box office success ones. So the only actor you ever see on Twitter is Chris Jamal Evans, and that's just because he's coming up there with the greatest takes ever. He'll literally just tweet what everyone's thinking, and everyone just praises him and loves him. But he's the only one. By the way, Chris Jamal Evans is because the black community loves him, so they're like honorarily his new name is Chris Jamal Evans, and we stan him. He like had this whole thing with Lizzo because him and Lizzo love each other. It's weird, but he's the only one. But it's because they're so rich and almost godly figures because of the amount of wealth they incurred that you don't see them on social media. Which Zachery Levi, he was in the Psych movie.
Well, they're really lucky. They don't have to. Like there's people who are like, I have a person who does that. Like I have a person who deals with that garbage.
Fun side story, just because to tack onto the Jamal thing. In the military, I was in an all-black unit except for me and one other white guy. And they didn't know my first name. So I was dubbed Jamal Potter until they figured it out later. And then I was just called Jamal by the unit for like the 2 years I worked with them. and the reason was no one had my record with the name Benny on it. And for like 3 days I was out and they needed to fill out paperwork. So on all the paperwork for this unit, I was Jamal Potter. Because they couldn't figure it out. And then I was just Jamal for 2 years.
Wow, what a personal tie-in.
It was you were like Chris Jamal Evans, and then you said where he got it from, and I'm like, holy shit.
Yeah. I'm surprised you never heard that before. It's like
I've
super,
never heard
super
that,
funny.
no.
Well, it's because there's like memes like, Chris Evans loves black women, and it's just like him flirting with like various press people and like in movies and stuff. But like Chris Evans loves black queens, and it's like a whole great, wonderful thing. So
I do want to. The reason they picked Jamal, I don't think it's the same reason. My middle initial's J, and that's all they had.
Okay.
So they for some reason my first name wasn't on the records, but it was J Potter. So they were like, it must mean Jamal, and that's where they signed everything for me.
We gotta start calling you Jamal. We'll bring it back.
I don't think that's gonna go over
I'm not gonna
well.
do that.
I'll do it. Jamal Story is what someone in our chat just said. But yeah, no, they don't need to. They're monolith superstars. They don't need to partake in it. And some of them are also relatively out of touch, not in like in a bad way, but like you guys remember when Will Smith was doing social media for a while before he slapped Chris Rock at the Oscars?
Hey, remember that awful YouTube Rewind video that he opened where he's like, "Oh man, I love Fortnite," and I'm like,
Fortnite,
"No, you
Mark
don't."
Brownlee. And then
I don't know. I've never said that name before in my life.
Brown.
Yeah. Well, so even then, Will Smith was probably as close to like an old
Fortnite.
guard.
Sorry, I'm just doing
He was as close to an old guard celebrity got to being connected. It still felt kind of fabricated. It was very cool at the start, and then it felt higher production, and then it didn't feel as human. So I don't necessarily know if it's just something that you want to do if you want to do it. I think that Zachery Levi specifically likes to be connected to that ground floor. Same way like Michael Rosenbaum is an actor that has made, X amount of millions off of Smallville, X amount of money off of all these other things he's done. He doesn't have to do anything, but he hosts both the Talkville podcast, Smallville Real Life podcast, and then Inside of You, where he gets a lot of these celebrities that want to be more connected. Like Zachery Levi is a frequent guest on that show, where they talk about like more real life things and they want to be more connected to the world they live in versus Marvel stars. Robert Downey Jr. doesn't need to be on Twitter. Could you imagine Robert Downey Jr. tweeting?
I honestly don't think it's Chris Evans. I think it's his team, and he just says a bunch of shit over the course of the day.
Yeah.
And someone's on his team's like, "That's it.
That's
tweet
the
it."
tweet. That's the tweet. But yeah, that's how it would be. It would never be RDJ with a cell phone being like, "I just tweeted it," which is exactly how we would do it, and it would get 1 million likes. But
Yep.
Yeah, it's an interesting conversation because Zachery Levi's just sitting there and he's being vulnerable. But I appreciated that video. I watched a lot of the live stream and I really liked it because he's anti-Pfizer, whatever his controversy aside, he's like a relatively good dude. I think across the board people like him.
Isn't even that controversy? He's against the company.
Yeah, he is.
And he said he's
like,
against Pfizer, and everyone just took it as the vaccine.
But and I think it's still an unfounded, like non-scientific, I feel, and against a scientific organization. So that's why people don't like it. But also like outside of that, he's pretty outspoken, advocate for women, for his cast. He's kind of a leading man in many ways, but he doesn't really act like it. He's very, very down to earth and very grounded. So like a lot of love and respect for. I mean, he hangs out with like YouTubers all the time. Like Sal has a SourceFed poster on his wall. He hangs out with Maude Garrett from SourceFed so often. Like they're always hanging out like a whole group of like movie nerds and like press people. And Zachery Levi, because he doesn't feel so A-list Hollywood that he couldn't hang out with people who do press.
Well, his start was on Chuck. And,
Yeah,
and
right.
it only existed because of the fans.
That's true.
So he's always had a connection with his fans because of Chuck. Chuck is a great show if you've never seen it. You need to watch Chuck, Hassan.
I'll watch Chuck.
Chuck is where he got his start. The concept is simple. He's your tech guy at like a Best Buy, and the CIA accidentally downloads the entire database into his brain.
That sounds so stupid. Sign me up.
And so everyone's trying to get at him, and there's 2 agents assigned to protect him, and that's the plot. Which only really got weird when they were like, and now he's a superhero. That was like season 4 or 5, bud.
Goddamn.
Yeah.
All right, adding it to my list. Alvin and the Chipmunks. Chuck.
But all right, I'm going to wrap this one up. What I'm getting at, and the whole point of all of this is, right now, for some reason, the fandom just wants to shit on Zachery and Levi by doing those quick cuts and stuff like that.
Oh,
and here's what I have to say about that. If you guys keep making these hyper cuts just to get yourself a few clicks, the actors are going to stop getting on social media. So your lifeline of community, like if they're like, it's not safe, you can't do it. Look what they did to you. They got you. They made a video of you saying John Wick was worse than your movie.
Yes.
Like
His press people, they got you in 4K saying you hate John Wick when everyone loves John Wick. Okay?
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying. So yeah, go ahead and have your fun, get your clicks, and then all this is going to dry up, and we're going to go back to not knowing what the hell's going on behind the scenes of these movies.
Yeah.
So all right. I'm Benny. That is Sal. That is Hassan. I'm the beard. That's the goatee. And that's the mustache. And we'll see you next time right here.